Sonic the Hedgehog is a classic video game released in 1991 for the Sega Genesis console. It follows the story of the titular character, Sonic, who must defeat an evil scientist named Drive. Eggman, who is trying to conquer the world with his army of robots. The gameplay is fast-paced and action-packed, with Sonic running, jumping, and spinning his way through levels filled with obstacles and enemies. The game also features a unique power-up system that allows Sonic to collect rings which help him to stay alive. Sonic the Hedgehog is considered to be one of the most iconic games of all time and is a classic example of the platformer genre. It was a huge success for Sega and spawned multiple sequels and spin-offs. The game is included in the list of the 8 mind-blowing action games on Sega Genesis because of its revolutionary gameplay mechanics and its impact on the gaming industry. It introduced a new style of gameplay that was fast, fluid, and fun, and helped to establish Sega as a major player in the console market. The game's colorful graphics, catchy music, and memorable characters have made it a beloved classic that continues to be enjoyed by gamers of all ages. Streets of Rage 2 is a classic action game for the Sega Genesis console. It's all about beating up bad guys and saving your city. You choose from 4 tough characters, Axel, Blaze, Skate, and Max, and fight your way through dangerous streets, alleys, and warehouses to take down the evil Mr. X and his henchmen. What makes Streets of Rage 2 one of the 8 mind-blowing action games on Sega Genesis is its smooth gameplay, awesome soundtrack, and satisfying combat. Each character has their own unique moves and abilities, and you can team up with a friend to play through the game together. There are also a variety of weapons and power-ups to help you along the way. Overall, Streets of Rage 2 is a must-play for fans of classic action games. It's challenging but rewarding, with plenty of action-packed moments and memorable bosses. Whether you're a longtime Sega fan or new to the world of retro gaming, this game is definitely worth a try. Gunstar Heroes is an action-packed video game released on Sega Genesis in 1993. It follows the story of 2 gun-toting siblings who battle through a series of challenging levels to stop an evil empire from obtaining 4 powerful gems that could destroy the world. The game is known for its intense gameplay, vibrant graphics, and unique weapon system that allows players to combine different gun types for maximum destruction. Additionally, Gunstar Heroes features a variety of bosses, each with their unique strengths and weaknesses, which requires players to use different strategies to defeat them. Overall, Gunstar Heroes is a classic action game that offers fast-paced gameplay, a unique weapon system, and challenging boss battles. Its popularity has endured over the years, and it remains one of the most beloved games on the Sega Genesis platform. Contra Hardcore is a side-scrolling action game that was released for the Sega Genesis console in 1994. It is set in a futuristic world where a group of soldiers known as the Hardcore is tasked with stopping a group of terrorists who have taken over the city. The game features 4 playable characters, each with their own unique abilities and weapons. The gameplay is fast-paced and challenging, with a variety of enemies and bosses to defeat. What makes Contra Hardcore one of the 8 mind-blowing action games on Sega Genesis is its intense action, challenging gameplay, and impressive graphics for its time. The game also features multiple branching paths and multiple endings, giving it a high replay value. Overall, Contra Hardcore is a classic action game that is not only enjoyable to play, but also a testament to the capabilities of the Sega Genesis console.
First
Shinobi
stage, all about the ease
Return
of
of the
access
Ninja
of learning
Master
your new
is an
ninja
action-packed
abilities.
video game
This
released
game
by
sets
Sega
you
in
up well to deal with
1993
the
for the
difficulties
Sega Genesis
ahead.
console.
Even the boss of the stage is little eyes
In
on
this
the various
game, the
platforms
player
as you
takes
come
on
to
the
them,
role of Joe
as well as be
Musashi, a
confronted with
ninja
places
master
you'll
who
need
must
to
defeat
move
his
and jump
enemies
to
and
avoid
save the
being
world from a
crushed.
terrorist
Act
organization
fast,
known as
keep up with
Neo-Z.
the elevator, and if you are having
The
your
game
timing on
features
more difficult
fast-paced,
jumps.
side-scrolling
Remember,
action
not
with a
every
variety of
challenging jump
ninja
in the game
weapons and
needs to be a
abilities to
double
use.
jump. You can also
Joe can
resembles
jump,
the feel of the
run,
horseback stage,
climb, and perform
with enemies
special
again
moves
coming
like
at you
the
from the
dash
background.
and
Much
double
of this
jump
can be
to
telegraphed
navigate
and
through
dealt with
levels.
easily, particularly avoided.
Players will face a range of enemies, including other ninjas, robots, and mutant monsters, and various environments such as forests, cities, and even underwater levels. Shinobi 3 stands out among other action games on Sega Genesis due to its fast and fluid gameplay, impressive graphics, and memorable soundtrack. The game's diverse levels, challenging boss fights, and various power-ups keep the player engaged and entertained throughout the game. Overall, Shinobi 3, Return of the Ninja Master is a must-play for fans of action games. Its combination of ninja-themed action, challenging gameplay, and impressive presentation make it one of the most mind-blowing action games on Sega Genesis.
No joke.
Comic Zone is a video game for the Sega Genesis that was released in 1995. The game is unique because it is set inside the pages of a comic book. You play as Sketch Turner, a comic book artist who is transported into his own creation when the villain he created, Mortis, jumps out of the pages and into the real world. The gameplay consists of fighting through various panels of the comic book, with each panel acting as a different level. There are puzzles to solve and enemies to defeat, and the game is known for its challenging difficulty. Comic Zone is considered one of the 8 mind-blowing action games on Sega Genesis because of its innovative concept and impressive graphics and sound for its time. The game also received critical acclaim for its unique gameplay and engaging story. If you're a fan of action games and comic books, Comic Zone is definitely worth checking out. Aladdin is a famous action game that was released for the Sega Genesis console. The game is based on the popular Disney movie, Aladdin. The game follows the story of Aladdin, a young boy who finds a magic lamp containing a genie who grants him 3 wishes. The evil Jafar, however, wants the lamp for himself and will stop at nothing to obtain it. In the game, players control Aladdin as he navigates through levels, collecting items and defeating enemies along the way. Aladdin is armed with a sword and can also use apples as a weapon. He can jump, duck, and climb to avoid obstacles and enemies. The game is full of exciting action and adventure, with each level presenting new challenges and obstacles to overcome. One reason why Aladdin is considered one of the 8 mind-blowing action games on Sega Genesis is because it was one of the first games to use high-quality graphics and sound. The game was also praised for its tight controls and challenging gameplay. Aladdin offered a unique gaming experience that was both fun and challenging, making it a classic game that is still enjoyed by many gamers today. Earthworm Jim is a game about a worm named Jim who becomes a superhero after a special suit falls from space and lands on him. The game is a side-scrolling action game where you run, jump, and shoot your way through levels filled with enemies and obstacles. What sets Earthworm Jim apart is its humor and creativity. The game is full of wacky characters like a cow that can jump over the moon and a villain named Crow who speaks with a thick southern accent. The levels are also filled with unique challenges like riding a hamster wheel through a maze or navigating a tunnel filled with lava. Overall, Earthworm Jim stands out as one of the most imaginative and entertaining action games on Sega Genesis. Its combination of humor, creativity, and challenging gameplay make it a must-play for any fan of classic video games.